Okay, so today I'm gonna cover how to set up React and Express app together in one project. So let's get started. First of all, what I've done is created just this directory, and in that I have initialized this npm project. So npm init -y is the command that you can use to create this package.json file in your project. So package.json file is going to be containing the information about our project: name, version, description, main script, authors, licenses, github url, and the dependencies for the project as well. So let us see the next step. Okay, so we will have front end and back end in one project itself. So I'm going to create two directories, one for the front end and one for the back end. So we have got front end and back end directories. Now next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a server for us using Express. So to create a file, just click on the folder in which you want to create a file and then click on this button. So you can see this saying new file, just click on that. And I'm gonna give the name index.js for this file. So this will be the main file that will get executed when we want to execute the server or run the server. So this is the module Express which we are going to use to start the Express server. Then port on which we want to run the server. So process.env port or 3001. So this 3001 is basically the port on which our server will run, backend server, if the port environment variable is not specified. And then app is equal to express app.listen port console.log. Server is listening on port. So that's how you can start the server on your backend folder. So we have just initialized our project using npm init, but we have not installed any packages. For example, in this particular file we are using Express, but we haven't installed it. So let us go ahead and install that package, npm install Express, and then that package should be installed for us. Okay, the package is installed for us. If you look at the package.json file, you will see that package is installed Express 4.17.1. Now to start this server, what you can do is use this command called as node backend / index.js. Okay, so what will happen is that node will execute this index.js file, and what we have got in index.js file is we are starting this Express server and listening on this port whatever we have provided. So we have not set up this port environment variable, so by default it is going to execute this or run this application Express server on 3001 port. So let us execute this and then see if our server is running on this port or not. So it is not showing the port, so let us fix that. The reason why it is not showing is because when we are using the interpolation, you have to use this syntax backtick, and I'm going to execute this command once again. So you can see the server is listening on 3001. So if you go to the browser, you can go ahead and see that the server is running there. So you can see server is running, but there is nothing. We have not set up any routes. That's why this error is coming, but our server is up and running there. Now I'm gonna stop this server. So another thing that I want to tell you is that there is a package.json, and in here instead of executing this command every time node backend slash index.js, we can write some short scripts, standard scripts. For example, if you want to start the server, you can use npm start command. So here we're going to put start, and then here we have to give the actual command that we want to execute. So the command that we executed here is this one. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. And now we don't need to execute this node and backend slash index.js. All we can do is npm start. That's it, and still our server will be running on that port. So as you can see, server is listening on that port. I'm gonna just stop this. That's it. So first part is done. Our server is up and running. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create one endpoint called as hello. So to create the endpoints, what you have to do is app.get, the method that you want to create the endpoint for, the actual name of the endpoint. So for example, slash, okay, or say let us say slash hello. And in the second parameter, what you have to do is a request and the response objects will be coming there. And in here you can put response.json, the response.json, the body that you want to send, message, or say name is equal to hello. Let us say greeting. So what we have done here is we have defined one endpoint for our server. So whenever users will go to this endpoint slash hello, the server is going to respond with this JSON object that is greeting hello. So let us try to execute this once again. npm start, and the server is listening. Let us go to the server, and then let us put slash hello here, and then hit enter. So you can see the message has come back in the form of JSON object. Okay, everything is looking good. So let me stop the server. Backend code is completed. Now let us focus on the front end. So we have already got this front end project folder here. So we are going to use standard create react app command to create a sample project, react project for us. So you can use this command npx create react app and the folder. So we have already got this front end folder, so I'm going to use that and then hit enter. So what will happen is that npx command will directory front end contains a file that could conflict. So there is one file in there, so let us delete that file because it needs the empty directory, and then we will run this command once again. So before I execute this command, let me explain what is happening here. So npx is npm executor. So what happens is that whatever we pass here in this here in the argument, it will see if that binary or executable is here in the node modules directory. If it is not there, it will download that for us and then execute that command create a react app, and the template project will be created in this directory front end. So let us execute once again. Alrighty, so we have got front end is created for us, and if you look here, you can see in the front end all these files have been created for us. Before we jump into the front end, there is one setting that we need to do. In this front end package.json, we have to add one parameter called as proxy. And its value should be backend. So all the requests, API requests, should be forwarded to the backend server. To run our React app, what we have to do is go to this directory called as front end, and then execute npm start. If you look at the npm start script, this is what we have got here, react script start. So that particular command will be executed behind this command, and what will happen is that our execution or the web server will be up and running on port 3000 after we execute this command. Alright, our react app, the front end is also up and running on this port 3000. The back end is running on 3001, front end is running on 3000. Okay, so this is how the default application looks like. Now what we want to do is we want to make the calls to our backend, which is running on this port 3001. So we are going to call this endpoint and get this response and then show it on our front end. So to do that, you have to go to the app.js. So app.js is the main application file. So all the components or the React app basically gets rendered using this component. So to make the call to our backend, we are going to use the fetch API. So use effect is basically this is the code that gets executed once the component is mounted. So initial state for our application is going to be null, and as the application gets mounted, we are going to fetch that data from the backend and then put it on the front end. So to make the call to our backend, what we have to do is use this API called as fetch, and the endpoint is this one /hello. So we'll get the response, and then we are going to convert that response into JSON using this function. So the message or the response that we are getting from the hello endpoint. So response we are converting it to the JSON using JSON function, and after that we get the JSON object. So this is actually a JSON object. You can call it a JSON object for the simplicity. And from the JSON object, we are getting this property called as greeting. So the set state, this particular function is basically comes from the React. React provides that function which is allowed you to change the state of the component. And we are going to pass this empty array here, so that this particular function or the use effect will get called just once. To print this data that is coming from the server, you can use this syntax, curly brackets, if no state, we are going to show loading sign, otherwise we are going to show the state. So React, this thing is not defined, so let us define that one. So we are going to import React from React. Okay, so the backend we are running on this port 3001, and our front end is running on the port 3000. So one issue that I faced was that here you have to put the slash there in the proxy. If you do not put the slash, then you will get the error saying that proxy cannot be made, like couldn't proxy the request, something like that. So you need to put that slash there. Another problem that I faced was that you need to make sure that backend is running on the port before running the front end, and if it is both servers are running properly, then you have to go to the front end, just load it, and then it will show loading icon or text, and then when the response comes, as you can see, it is turned into hello. So this is actually the response coming from the backend. So I'm just gonna do it once again, and you can watch in the network tab. Just refresh page once again. As you can see, the request is sent and it is saying pending status, and right now the response has come, so it is showing green. So that is how you can make the calls to the backend, and also make sure that in your proxy this slash is mentioned. Alrighty, so that's how basically you can set up the front end and the back end together in a single project. and you can do the development easily without any problems. Thanks for watching this video.